Hi friends, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. Over on my corner of the internet, I wax poetic about all things stationery, so everything from planners, notebooks, stickers, washi tapes, inks, pens, and beyond. All of it, I am here for it. Let's chat today about notebooks. So I've been looking around my room lately, looking at my shelves and realizing that I have a crap ton of notebooks, unused, and I keep buying more because, to be honest, I do have a weakness for a cute notebook cover or a very nice sleek looking notebook or a chic notebook cover. I fall for it all. I do. So I was like, okay, I need to take stock, I need to take an inventory and be real about what I already have so that I can control a lot more what I want to get but don't necessarily need. So we are going to look through everything that's empty and unused right now, and I also chit chat about how I use these, why I love them, and so on. To my right, I have a traveler's notebook, a very new cover in the pocket size by Speckled Fawns, my go-to traveler's notebook brand. But right now, it's being used predominantly for storage. I'm using it to store all of my lovely pocket-sized notebooks. To the very front, this is just your run-of-the-mill 3-pack set of Kraft paper notebooks. They're ruled or lined, not my go-to, not my usual or my fave, but I work with it. I got these at the drugstore, the pharmacy, depending on whatever it's called at your neck of the woods, you can call it that. I've been itching more and more for this particular size this year. So I thought, you know what, when I saw them, I was like, let me just get these. They are very handy and they're also extremely affordable. Ideally, I would use these for gratitude journaling, where I jot down small things or a small particular thing each day that I am grateful for. They are so cute for that because it doesn't force you to have to write too much. Or I use these ideally for commonplace note-taking. P.S. I do commonplace journal, but I've never shown mine on the channel. If it's something you're interested in, I would be more than happy to show a quick tour of what I have thus far. I also use these for very simply and very appropriately making lists. So grocery lists, lists of ideas, foods, lists of items that you are thinking about getting, wish lists, lists of plants that you want to buy. I mean, the options are absolutely endless. So I keep these stocked at all times because a lot of these random things tend to come up from time to time, and specific uses of a notebook where you don't want to have too many pages to overwhelm you and bog you down. And the great thing is, if you run out of one, you can just grab another because these almost always come in sets of 3s, and I absolutely love that. Lots of people also use these as TNs for planning, like you have a pack of 3 and you use one as a monthly notebook or monthly insert, and then a weekly insert, and then a budget ticking or a note taking insert. I just love these, and I think if you are new to them, you will too. Staying in the family of pocket-sized notebooks, you may have already met my Field Notes notebooks, and this is from 2 particular editions, the Vignette and the Birchbark. My favorite is the Birchbark by far. You would have known that I spoke glowingly about these in my most recent video where I introduced my very first time using Field Notes notebooks. I adore this cover so much. It was just perfectly put together, and I feel like it's a very chic and clean canvas. It's a dot grid, it's a square grid notebook, and they actually come in different color grids. So one is a kind of olivey green and the other is yellow. The staples at the side also coincide with the color of the grid. This one is the Vignette. It allows you to customize the front with your very own image, or like not sticker, because you can slide the image in, which is the best part about these. I really wish they came in other colors, and hopefully Field Notes will oblige and give us other colors in this amazing new edition that allows you to customize to your heart's content. I love these. They come in very handy. I love the customizability of it, and the paper is beautiful paper. Let's move across to the A6 size, a size up from Field Notes or pocket size, and we will dive into my Stalogy half-year A6 notebook. I am used to the full year because that was my very first one, so this one is an adjustment. It has half the pages, hence the term half year, and I like it because it's just enough for journaling. My first Stalogy I used as a planner way back when, and I loved it, but I like the thinness of the paper in that it allows me to have a full journaling experience. For me, a full journaling experience means paper that allows me to use multiple media, and I like specifically when paper gets crinkly and very, I would call it animated when you add things to it. I love that vibe when paper starts to get very lived in as you use it, and I feel like Stalogy paper allows for that really, really well because the paper is thin but manageable. Some people don't like these for fountain pens. It's not the greatest, I must admit, as someone who uses broad nibs a lot. I think you can get away with a fine nib or an extra fine nib on these. The paper does ghost a tad if you go too heavy or too large in a nib size. Other than that, I love this notebook very much. It's always been a favorite of mine. Back when I had a bit less experience in the planner world, I bought one of these because I used to watch Dakshina a lot, and I was in love with it at the time that I used it. It was small, cute, portable, cute enough to throw in my handbag, and I love the way it chunked up, which I'm so excited about seeing over time with this one. When this chunks up, it's gonna look so good. I can't wait. And by far, if you're interested in trying out different size notebooks for journaling in particular, I would strongly recommend a Stalogy. Start with the half year because it's obviously cheaper than the full year, and see how you like it. We're still in the family of A6 size, and this is the Tomoe River paper. So I've graduated over the years in terms of paper types, and I know the Tomoe River paper is effortlessly popular in the community. I first tried this out in a planner form, if you notice the different spreads, but it didn't work for me as a planner because, like I mentioned, I like thin paper for the vibe I get when I journal and add things like paint, markers, different media that allows the paper to crinkle up and get very lived in, which is my vibe. As a planner, that did not work for me because you're just writing things down, and this was particularly my work planner where I was not doing a lot of deco and all of that in it. So I stopped using it after maybe 2 months, and I now use it. I'm now about to use it when that time comes as a journal. I think the paper is everything that it's been raved about. Different brands do use Tomoe River. So this one is called Tomoe River Notebook. I know that other brands, other smaller brands, other non-Japanese brands also use Tomoe River, so it's not a Japanese exclusive anymore. But I like the paper. It's square grid. I enjoy journaling in it because I have opened and used up another one, and it's been a great experience so far. I can't wait to dive into this one next. And like I said, it's a square grid 5mm made in Japan. The price was very great. I think this was around $8 on Amazon, and you cannot go wrong if you want to try out Tomoe River paper as a start. Grab this. I got 2, and this is my second one waiting to be used. in the A6 family because, believe it or not, it is my size du jour. I love it. I can never be without an A6 notebook for journaling in particular. It's just right. To me, it's a very Goldilocks size. I know a lot of people say B6 Slim is Goldilocks. To me, I like the fact that it's in between small, like passport, and it's not quite A5 either. It's perfectly in the middle. This Apica CD I purchased off of Amazon, and it is also a Japanese brand. Let me just open it up really quickly. There's a lot of packaging in this, some plastic. I haven't used this yet, obviously, but I do have another one that I used already, so I know what the paper is like. I like to buy my notebooks in twos. I know it's a bit extra.
I am extra. I'm so extra.
But I kind of have this thing where I'm like, I don't ever want to run out of notebooks for journaling, so I do not buy one at a time, especially when I buy notebooks online. It just makes more sense to me to buy multiples because I have this irrational sort of phobia that one day I won't be able to get notebooks online, so I just multi-buy or multi-purchase. At the back, it lays out for you the size and the type. It is an A6 5mm square grid notebook, very similar to the one I showed you before, and it is a really great buy for journaling, note taking, as in if you're in a class or you're taking a course, go for it. It's very sturdy yet thin paper, and I love it to bits. The square grid of each one of these varies quite a bit. The paper color varies as well, but they are all workable for me. I'm not too fussy about like cream versus white. I know a lot of people are, but I don't make a fuss too much. The Apica CD, which is the red, is thicker than the other one, the Tomoe River Notebook, so it's a more of a bang for your buck type of vibe. And the Apica CD is also whiter in color as opposed to a slightly cream vibe in the Tomoe River. If these are deal breakers for you and you prefer more of a white look, go with the Apica CD, the red, or even less cream and more white is a Stalogy. Love these, they're my favorites, and I'll never be without them. Moving over to B6 Slim, another absolute favorite in my collection. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I almost always have a B6 Slim Midori MD. I've reviewed this notebook years ago and I've been using it for years. This one in particular though is, guess what? Blank. I usually go with the square grid that the brand is known for, but I decided to go for a blank one this time around just because I am trying to make my journaling involve a lot more drawing. This year I'm trying to practice more drawing, sketching. I'm actually in an art class right now. I've been buying a lot of books about sketching and drawing, and so I feel like drawing things, painting them will look much better on a blank canvas as opposed to a square grid notebook, which is my usual. So when I come into this one in particular, I will be drawing a lot. You will see a lot of drawing and sketching heavy journal spreads. I am a writer through and through, so I will always write, but I love the look of adding bits of drawings to a notebook. People like Apica CD and a lot of others, Job's Journal as well, they sketch a lot and I love that look, and I want to dive into that too. So that's why I've been buying some blank notebooks here and there. Moving up in size to this bad boy that I purchased from Ross, $4, couldn't pass it up. It's a hardcover dot grid. For $4, I said, you know what? I can never have too many, so go for it, take it. I am a square grid girly and I have been for a very long time, but believe it or not, when I first started journaling, I was in dot grids like most people because I was trying the famous bullet journaling method. Not my vibe, I've realized, in terms of planning, but I do like a dot grid for journaling. I am not opposed to it at all. This notebook is 6 by 8. It's very thick, a lot of pages. I believe it's around 200 and something, which is more than the others that I have. It's a hardcover. I'm looking forward very much to decorating this cover. I love the look of a bunch of stickers plastered throughout a blank cover. I think it is just adorable and to die for, and I can't wait to start doing that again. This particular notebook will not have a cover on it, which is why I am excited to go to town with the decorating on the front. I don't have a TN that is this particular very unique size, 6 by 8. So I'm gonna decorate to my heart's content, probably use a color scheme and run with it, maybe pink, orange, and creamish brown, like a coffee latte brown, and work with that. At the back there is a pocket for you to stash things like stickers or just random documents or even washi tape cards, anything that you might need in your journaling journey. I like this for journaling if you are a seasoned journaler and you write a lot and you also want to go to town with adding other elements like paint, because the paper is the sturdiest I have experienced. It is white in comparison to the Midori MD, which is more cream. It is also very close to the Apica CD in that white shade. But again, the paper is super sturdy. I have never heard of this brand before, James Burke collection, but the shade of white is chef's kiss. Mwah, love it. And I can't wait to dive into this somewhere in maybe 2025. And I will reserve this for when I am writing a lot more than I'm usually doing. Last but not least in this stash are the Moleskine Cahier chapters journals. This was a 2-pack set that I purchased at, I believe, TJ Maxx. I picked up 2 sets of the pair. What I do like is that it comes in chapter divisions. So what I'm using these for in particular are for story writing and a bit here and there of my short essays that I like to write from time to time. They're called chapters because they have chapters within the notebook. It's called the Chapters Volant Journal, I believe, by Moleskine, and they've divided the pages into 5 different chapters, clearly marking off each one, and then at the back you have a sort of index or table of or a list of contents at the end to earmark which one is which chapter. I like these, like I said, for notebook writing, for story writing, and I do already have a few in use thus far. I use these when I go to writing workshops and seminars, and I'm actually working on a couple drafts within them as well. I'm storing these for the most part in this traveler's notebook cover that I got off of Amazon. It is very real leather by the brand September Leather, and like I mentioned, it's very handy. At the back you get a table of contents, and it's perfect for the aspiring writer and the aspiring maybe collection of stories, collection of ideas. It's split up very well for you, and I love that about this. It doesn't have a ton of pages. It's not the most fountain pen friendly, as you can see here, so I've stopped very quickly using my fountain pens in them. I have heard that Moleskine is not the greatest with fountain pens, but I took my chance buying these knowing that I have a ton of ballpoint pens, so I will use those in place of my beloved fountain pens in the meantime and fill up these notebooks. If you are strictly a fountain pen user, these notebooks may not be for you. Moleskine is not the greatest. I don't know if they have later editions of their notebooks, meaning more recent, where they've changed the paper quality. Who knows? But I'm using these nonetheless. They're very handy, and they might be handy for you if you're a writer as well. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing and talking through my empty unused notebook stash. I do think I have some more that have not been in use, and they're slightly smaller, so I left them out deliberately because I know most people don't write in A7 notebooks. These are the main and the very popular sizes within the community. I love all of these for their own unique reasons, and I hope that talking through them has helped you make a decision that you may have in mind. I am so glad you stopped by to view the video. I hope you stick around for many more, and I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.